And our last speaker tonight is the co-founder of BookBox. She'll be talking about culture. And her title is the following: Humor for Humanity, Lessons from Ukraine. Tanya Orlyk, welcome.
Hi.
The connection seems to be very good, Tanya. The floor is yours.
Awesome, thank you. When the war started, I was just recovering from COVID. So my first thought was, is that how it goes? You recover from COVID and you get war as a reward? My second thought was, oh, I'm going to be a hero. Like, you know, I was preparing for this all my life. I read a lot of stories about World War II. I read Harry Potter. I watched Lord of the Rings. I did a lot of community service. I got this. I did have some leadership experience. I was an entrepreneur. I made it to Forbes Ukraine 30 under 30 list. I was named the Fun Fearless Female of the Year by Cosmopolitan magazine. But then I heard the sounds of war for the first time, and I was a Fun Fearless Female no more. This is the sound of a siren. It indicates there are rockets coming your direction. It would go for hours, day and night, and then you hear explosions. So when I heard war for the first time, I lost my mind. I sat there like a helpless cat from the meme, and I realized that I couldn't be a hero for everyone. My roles and responsibilities started conflicting with each other. If you only have one free seat in your car and only this much money to give away, who do you choose? Your family, your friends, your pets, your employees, your investors? Are there Ukrainians in need? Who do you choose? And you try to help as much as you can, but you endlessly feel that you are not doing enough. You were not prepared for this, so you make a bad cook, a bad nurse, and a terrible, terrible soldier. So, and really, heroism shown by my fellow Ukrainians really doesn't help my self-esteem. Here you have a man using his bare hands to carry a landmine while casually smoking a cigarette. You have a comic who goes from voicing Paddington the Bear and winning Dancing with the Stars to serving as a wartime president. Here is a woman telling soldiers to put sunflower seeds in their pockets so that something good has a chance to grow out of them. And finally, you have birds attacking military drones, prompting Ukrainians to give them the honorary badge of a true brother nation. In Ukraine, at some point, you feel that if you didn't manage to steal a tank with your bare hands, you are a loser. So obviously, I had to lose my hero identity. And so did many of my fellow Ukrainian entrepreneurs, managers, community leaders. We had to be honest. We had to admit that there is a chance that we will not save our companies. We fail daily, and we might not even make it to a business meeting on time due to dying the night before. And we had to cherish our sense of humor, because that's the only thing we have left. We know that we are free till we are fun, and free people fight and work better. Fun gives us the energy to keep going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. And fun leaders feel much safer to be around. But let's talk business. According to numerous studies, humor is one of the most desirable traits in a leader. Research shows that leaders with that's a good news, any sense of humor are seen as 27% more motivating, and their teams are twice as capable to solve a creativity challenge. Laughter is a great way to decrease the stress hormones and to spike happy hormones. And unlike many other happy hacks based on human biology, this one can be exercised remotely and is actually approved by HR. So where do you start? How do you introduce humor to your culture? I came up with a very simple two-step strategy. It is called the power of ha. H stands for honesty. Fun leaders are more trustworthy because they are less dangerous. Truth be told, we don't really expect leaders to have everything under control, but we do hope that they will not sweep problems under the rug, where they will eventually form a snowball. If you are a leader, honesty can be challenging for you because managers are trained to be, hide the pain heralds at work, the man with the pain smile. This strategy is supposed to lift the team spirits, but unfortunately, the only thing it lifts is managers' alienation and burnout. You don't have to be serious in order to be taken seriously. I love this quote from Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She's a known advocate for humorous strategies. When she just started Spanx, many retailers wouldn't return her calls. So Sarah mailed them a single shoe in a box, adding a note. I just wanted to put my foot on your door. And she secured a meeting. I think it has a lot to do with honesty, because a joke is an elegant nod to the fact that, yes, you do in fact need this sale, or in Sarah's case, a meeting with a retailer. It can be a breath of fresh air in the world where businesses use marketing to, play hard to get, which is okay, but it also means that we can try honesty and humor to stand out. In fact, there is a study showing that adding a joke at the end of your sales speech may increase your customers' willingness to pay up to 18%. The second ingredient of our HA formula is A, for attention. The humor habit is all about noticing the absurd contradictions of human nature and the very existence. As Fitzgerald once wrote, a test for a first-rate intellect is the ability to retain two opposing ideas in your head at the same time, while still retaining the ability to function. Humorous people might be the brightest of them all, because not only do they notice the absurdities of life, they also put them through the filter of humor to make it easier for others to humor these contradictions. My favorite example of a humorous mind is Peter Drucker. I'm a two-time winner of Peter Drucker Challenge, which is a global essay contest where you have to apply the wisdom of Drucker in modern context. When I wrote my first essay, I only read one book by Drucker, his autobiography, Adventures of a Bystander, and I really hoped that my subconscious would analyze the life of Drucker and supply me with an insightful guide to management. And it actually did. To think like Drucker, you have to be observant, honest, and kind. In other words, you have to be humorous. Peter Drucker had a very keen eye. He was very apt at shifting perspectives and switching to a deliberate bystander mode, which enabled him to see what he called the corpse in the room. It was obvious for Drucker that there is nothing as difficult and as expensive, and also nothing as futile as trying to keep a corpse from stinking. Yet he also knew that it would be very hard for many companies and people to look at this corpse. So he had to use humor to make it easier for them to admit their mistakes and take some action. If you're attentive, you will see humorous truth everywhere. It is a good idea to start with yourself. My favorite Ukrainian jokes of the moment are the ones admitting our infatuations and making them our strength. For example, Ukrainians love gardening. I'm crazy about gardening. And homegrown crops are a big thing and a sense of life for many Ukrainian grandmothers. So when we were attacked right before the spring planting season, our reaction was, are you serious? You never stand between a Ukrainian grandmother and her inalienable right to grow stuff. You guys are doomed. To be honest, it feels both ironic and heartbreaking to be sitting here today thinking about the future of work when I seem to be stuck in some kind of terrible past. The bomb shelters, the military violence, the propaganda claiming that you have to kill civilians in order to save them. These words were so often repeated in the history of humanity that when we heard them again, we thought it was a joke, very poorly written. I hope that you will never experience war, but I do hope that you will use the power of Ha to make your communities and your organizations a more fun, safe, and creative space. I do not know what the future holds, but I definitely know that we will need humor to build it. Thank you.
Thank you for that inspiring speech. Our hearts are with you. All of our hearts are with you. I believe that everybody who was listening to this will definitely join me in saying, please stay safe, and please keep up the unbelievable spirit that you have displayed during this presentation. Now, how much more of this spirit of Ha have you discovered now during the war or before this all happened? What are the genuine insights that have come from this particular crisis that you never thought you would have, or that you certainly didn't have before February 24th?
My story with humor started long before the war because my mom is a child psychiatrist, and like many doctors, she has a very dark sense of humor and a very delightful one. So that would be our family's coping strategy. Then I started researching humor during the pandemic, and there was a lot of research published during that time, and we saw that crying through laughter emoji was actually the most popular emoji of 2020 and 2021. And then when the war started, I think that it was the only thing that could save my mental health. Like, I just felt like it was the only thing that was left. And because you feel a very potent mix of emotions, yet you know that some of them are devastating for you if you stick there for a long time. And humor, especially dark humor, just always had the healing power for me.
Well, we certainly hope that you spread this power of humor throughout the entire country, and that a victory will emerge from this.
Hopefully.
We wish you all so very well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.